Hello everyone, welcome to the online pruning and fertilizing course. Thank you so much for joining me. In this introduction video, I am going to walk you through a few things, and in this one is going to start off with pruning as far as what tools I use for pruning and for fertilizing. We are going to have a separate video. And real quick, it is quite noisy out here. I'm not sure if you can hear. There's construction behind my house, so that is the sound that you may be hearing. But hope you can hear well with the microphone here. So as you can see from the digital download that you immediately receive after purchasing the course, I put together a list of the tools that you need. Some of you may have already had some and some may not, so you can buy those. So you are going to need a pruner. This is the exact one that I put on that list for you. And of course, a pair of gloves, and you need the one that will be long enough to cover your arm so you will not get scratched. Next, of course, alcohol. It can be 70% or 90, whatever that works best for you. And that is optional, like cotton pads if you want to spray, you want to wipe your pruner. And this one you don't need. I just have it so that I can show you the size of the roses before and after I prune, so that you get an idea as far as the height and the width of the rose. Okay, and last but not least, you are going to need like trash bag, a bucket, or old pots, or whatever that you can use to move around to put the roses, the cuttings, or the branches that you want to throw away. And I find that it works well if you find, depending on how many roses you have. Of course, if you don't have a whole lot, then you don't need the big size. But if you have many, then this is going to be convenient to get like a bigger bucket or trash bag, trash can, whatever. Make it easier as you prune each rose. Okay, and next I want to quickly talk about pruning your roses. And once again, depending on how many roses you have in your garden, if you only have maybe 2 or 3 to begin with, it's not going to be overwhelmed. But if you have anywhere like 10 plus up to 50 or whatever, I know some people have like 100. Let's try to break down the task and not aim to finish pruning in one day, because that can be overwhelmed. But for more experienced gardeners, it is a lot faster to go because you already have experience. So you may try to divide like one section at a time, so you can maybe do, depending on how comfortable you are and how the bush of your roses look. Like this one, it shouldn't be too complicated, but I know that some roses with different growth habits, you kind of scratch your head and wonder, how do I even prune this one? So start with the ones that has kind of, I would say, easy structure. Like I would say this one right here, and that one is, it has the shape that is super easy to work with. And save the ones that look like it's going to take more time to figure out how to prune, how to cut, how to shape it. That way you don't stay stuck or confused or frustrated with that one. So definitely look for like smallest one and then work your way through and go from there, and then divide the maybe this section today, then another section tomorrow. And pruning after Valentine's Day, like I said, you do have until end of month, and some people will still prune in March. You know, this is not like a deadline where you have to get it done like this week or next week. You do have the time, But the sooner you prune, the faster they will be able to leaf out, have new growth, and so you'll be able to enjoy them faster. Because 1 year, I kind of wait until it's a little late in the pruning season. Hence, my roses bloom a little later than compared to people who prune much earlier. So, and with life, you may have something coming up and all that. I don't want you to feel stressed out, like, oh gosh, I don't have the time to prune now. Will it be okay if I do it at the at some point in March? Definitely yes, you can still do it at that point. But if you can do now in February, then you can go ahead and do that, but divide that task to where it will not overwhelm you. Okay, so this is it for the introduction video, and I will go get started right on the smallest rows so that you can see how we can start on that one. In the online pruning and fertilizing course, I show you 13 different roses, and most likely I'll continue to add to show you how I determine where to prune my roses, where to cut, what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep. And because each rose has different growth habits, some are very dense in the center, some are a lot easier to prune, some may have floppy, leggy growth habits, and some are just so messy, so that you get a clear idea how to prune each one. Okay, so if that is something that you're interested in, you can check that out. I'll leave the link in the description box for you to check out if that course is right for you. And of course, you also have, you'll be able to see how I fertilize during springtime as well. Now, this rose right here, Belinda's Blush, how I start is I start at the bottom, right? To remove anything dead, disease, or even super thin stem. And as you can see, there are many nice size canes in the back. And so I don't need to keep like anything thin, right? So that the rose will have energy to send food or anything else along those stems instead of um, having to distribute to thin stems as well. And that one right there, the way that it grows is kind of odd. It also lays on top of another thick canes, and there's a yellow at the tip. So I went ahead and removed that one. That stem right there, it grows kind of inwards and it's also thin. So I removed them in order to open up the room in the middle to provide air circulation, along with those in the back that you just saw. And this one I mowed heavily because we had freeze earlier in January, so I need to remove them as well. Now, for that stem right there, since there are quite a few new growths, then I look and see where I want to cut. So for this rose, I want to keep about 12 to 15 inches. So I look at the new growths facing outwards to the left hand side, so that the new stems will continue to grow that way, not growing inward inside the rose to the center. And that cane right there, I want to keep the rest of the rose the same height. Okay, so I just remove everything. Also, some stems, there are notes that you can see, and some, I found it to be interesting because some roses, you can clearly see the new notes, and some along the stem, you just don't see anything at all. So it's kind of weird that even doesn't matter where you cut in the stem, they manage to sprout new growth. So if you spot new nodes along the stem, that is quite easy to just follow that and then cut slightly above it. but some stems are pretty naked. And some roses like this one has such weird growth habits. It doesn't grow up like there are so many stems. It wants to lie flat, which is so odd. There are a few stems, as you can see, that wants to form like a shrub, but so many, this is almost like octopus. Um, everything just want to go sideways. So weird. So in this course, I'm showing you these roses with unique growth habits to help you understand what I do with these unique roses. And if that is something that can help you, definitely check that out. And I hope that this video is helpful in some way to some of you as far as introducing how to um, start pruning your rose and not to feel overwhelmed or have to finish everything in one day, because I still have many to go. I think the next one that I am going to work on is going to be Earth Angel and Crazy Love Rose. Those two, uh, Earth Angel tends to throw long octopus canes too. The rest of the canes kind of shorter, but there are at least 2 or 3 thick canes. They're so long and it's just so out of place. Crazy Love is quite tall, but not, I don't think that one is going to be too complicated to prune. So I'm going to add those 2 videos to my course when I am done pruning those 2. But as of right now, there are 13 different videos showing you how I prune them. The list also includes in the video, in the description box, it shows you what uh, roses, what videos I have in that course, so that you can take a look at them and decide. But anyhow, I will see you in the next video. Have a great week.